time, I would like to introduce our first guest speaker for today, Trish Felder, Executive Director of Career and Technical Education, State Perkins Director at LCTCS.
So as we look at why we did this, what were our past challenges? If you are currently using paper application process, you know the woes that you are facing. You send out your application all nice and neat in the order that you would love to get the returned application in. It does not come back that way. It comes back however they decided to put it together, and as you're trying to review it, you have to go through the process of organizing it and making it work for you. We had different processes going on. Everybody was not consistent with the way they completed their application, the way they turned the applications in, the way they did or did not do reimbursements, the way they did or did not do quarterly reports and end-of-the-year reports. And it was taking forever to read an application. Just to review an application was 4 to 5 hours. We have cut that review time more than in half. It takes 1 to 2 hours now for that initial review, which one of the things that we learned along the way is when we first set up the system, it was great. We were able to say, this is what we need. REI was able to give us that. But as we move more into the system, we'll say, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? So we're improving every time we go, because keep in mind, this is our first fiscal year to utilize the system. It's been fantastic.
I'm actually logged in as Trish, as the program manager. So we have different roles, different profiles in the Gov Grants, in the eGrant system, and these profiles are typically referred as the program manager. They have the complete ownership of managing a grant program. Then we have something called project officer, who typically would be an assistant's roles to a program manager. We have other profiles such as fiscal director, they're looking at the fiscal aspect of it, or fiscal officers, and so on. So you'll see that on the top level navigation is the different phases of the grant life cycle. So we have a planning phase, application phase, grant phase, post-grant, and then reporting and dashboard. Again, this is the internal view. When it comes to eGrants, when it comes to Gov Grants, there are 3 different gateways or 3 different portals. This is the internal portal, which is the government, what LCTCS sees. Then the recipient community sees. They have a different portal, but their tabs are different. They have different access. They see different things. And we also have a portal for the subject matter experts. A lot of grants, they require external reviewers from colleges or somewhere else who are the subject matter expert to come and review the applications that have come in. So that's the review portal.
Thank you, Raul. So we're going to let you get a quick view into what it looks like when you're inside the system and what's going on. You know, Raul talked of funding opportunities, and let me just explain real quick what that is. You create a funding opportunity to go with every one of the applications that you need. For example, we have the flow-through funds that you remember from a previous slide. That's the money that goes out to the colleges or to K-12. So when we're sending that out to the colleges, we have X number of dollars. That is the amount of money in that funding opportunity. So that's how we start the process. We have to create a funding opportunity and then get it moving so that that flow of funds goes out where it needs to go. So we have, this is what it would look like when we have a funding opportunity put together. You will see that this is Perkins Basic Carryover, which is one of the pots of money that we have. So we create the information within this so that we can assign it to the recipients that should complete an application, and they'll get a little notice telling them that there's a funding opportunity there that they need to complete. All of the information you see on the screen currently is there from when our recipient put their information in and create their profile to be a user. So it repeats itself. Excuse me. They don't have to recreate the information. It just rolls over into this particular screen so we can see what it is. Okay, so here we are. This is what the review decision looks like. You'll see that all of the applications there are listed. You will see there's an action box, the application itself, the project title, the applicant organization, the reviews. You see the little people? The little green people mean, in this case, in this particular application process, there were 2 reviewers. If it's green, that means that that reviewer actually looked at it. and you can click on them and you can see who it was, and you can see what they did. So this is Suella. You can see the questions, the rubric, what the response was, what the evidence was. How did we know this was a yes? How did we know it was a no? So we have this entire rubric that we utilize. So this is individually. And once this is finished, then REI was kind enough to create a form that actually puts all of the reviews together. So when I look at this form, I can see that Tawna and I were the ones that reviewed this one. I can see what the answers were to each of the rubric points. And then when I send out a request for a revision, if there are no's and ask them, then I have all of the reviews there right in front of me. It's really easy to do. If everything's a yes and this is approvable, then I can see that everything's a yes and we can go on with the approval process.
Okay, once the application budget summary is entered into the system, both the subrecipient and LCTCS can see how the categories are labeled. In the click on the button, Raul, thank you. And in those categories, it details. For this one, for instance, it only has one entry, but you can do multiple entries in the budget category explaining what the uses of funds are going to be used for.
Trish, you want to go with that specific information. So this is really handy if you want to quickly look for something and you don't want to have to go deep into the system. You can just pull it up rather quickly. So we're really excited about this new feature. And we're enjoying the system so much that we weren't satisfied with just doing the application process. We decided that we want to do our performance indicator report that is part of the consolidated annual report that we turn into the federal government every year. So we're working on that now. It's almost finished. We're really excited about that. And since we really want everything Perkins in the same system, we are getting ready to start looking at putting all of our documentation on here that has to do with program review, audits, monitoring, and so forth for our folks that are our subrecipients. So when we're done, this is going to be an all-inclusive, everything Perkins will be in this one place. So we're really able to do their grant award notice. It's helped us to be able to do every piece that we have to do. Everything's automated, and it has made our life so much easier, and we're very, very excited about that. So we've been in business with this launch since June of 2016, and you can see that we've supported 13 funding opportunities, at least 74 applications. We've awarded approximately $22 million. We've processed disbursements up to $5.5 million already. We've looked at and completed 100+ amendments or modifications to the award. And for compliance issues, we've tracked and monitored approximately 4,000 activities that we've had at least 90% closure on. The reporting's easy. There's pre-built features into it. We're working on our annual performance report. It's also for our auditing needs. So in a nutshell, we are very satisfied with the product so far. We hope to use it for years to come. It's made our life easier. It's a great relationship that we have with our partners at REI. So we're real excited about all the work that we've done. Raul?